Hello, Leo. Welcome to the channel. This is Asnointia here. For those of you who are returning, thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. And for those of you who are new, welcome. So this is a general love reading, and I'll be looking into the feelings and emotions of the person that you're connecting with on a romantic level. What it is that they're feeling and thinking towards you currently. The deck that I'm using is the Goddess Oracle deck by Amy Sophia Mershinsky. For those of you who are new, my method of reading is just slightly different. I do have the ability of channeling through my higher intuitive self to get the answers that I need. I do not channel through any spirit guides. I never have. There's certain reasons why I don't. At the end of this reading, I do channel Archangels Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, as well as Uriel to provide you with some advice based on what comes up today. So some of you may have been in a relationship. This could have been in the past, could be current. Others of you, you may have been in a situationship, or maybe you still are. And for a small portion of you, you may have a lot of strong energy, the both of you in between, but no one's really speaking up. Leo, this is quite a serious situation. Oh my God. Okay. You have a third party card here. Some of you might resonate with this. Oh my goodness. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards that are on the dark side. This is not so dark, but honestly, we have your anger, rage, fear, betrayal, wild woman, which is lies and deception, deceit, and then you have crisis, being very overwhelmed. I'm going to express to you what it is that your person of interest is feeling towards you currently. First, we'll just have a look at all the cards. It's anger and rage followed by selfhood. Then we have power, fear, betrayal, shape-shifting, play, wild woman, and then we have crisis under the bottom of the deck, the overall arching theme. I'm going to express to you what it is that your person of interest is feeling towards you currently. My dear Leo, right now, because of what has happened, I'm quite upset. There is a sense of anger and rage, irritation and annoyance because of the situation and what has become of us. I see you now as somebody who's different, somebody who's changed. You are no longer the same. The things that I have put you through have turned you into a different person altogether. Now, you seem to be someone who is more self-sufficient, self-reliant, independent. You don't need me. But also I see you as someone now who's very guarded. Once bitten, twice as shy. It's difficult for you to open up. It's difficult for you to trust and to believe. Who turned you into this? It appears to be me. Am I happy? No. I'm not happy that I've done this and that you have become that. There is a part of you that radiates this kind of energy, this essence from you, where people may feel and think that you are single and available. I don't want you to be anyone else's. I want you to be mine. With you, I have felt often very powerless. I melt sometimes. certain things that you need, certain things that you desire. I do feel that in this connection, there's this feeling that I get where I'm weak in the knees and emotionally vulnerable. And you have so much power over me. You are such an individual who knows how to seduce, but you don't even have to try, and it just happens. I also feel that in this connection, there is this fear. I feel that there's a whole lot of nervousness now around me. I myself feel anxiety. A long time ago, I was very confident, but that's all changed. Now I no longer feel confident. There's a lack of self-esteem. I feel very insecure. Before, things were different. I also feel that in this connection, what I've done has made me unworthy of you. I don't know if I deserve someone like you. You deserve someone better. There is a sense of betrayal. You thought you knew me, but it turned out that you never really knew me at all. I did something that you were not expecting. I pretended to be someone else, someone I was not. And the impression I had made earlier was different. Now I see things differently, and I understand that there's a lack of faith now and a lack of trust. It's difficult to go back, it's difficult to change. But because I have betrayed you, that betrayal itself makes me very angry. Makes me very mad. Because that was not supposed to happen. I also feel that there's this desire for me to be with you, for me to do something else. However, no matter where I go, no matter what I do, something happens and I always end up thinking about you. Yearning, lingering, waiting, having this desire to be with you even though I'm not supposed to be. In you I have found a friend, somebody who I can depend on, call my own, have fun with. There's mischief in your eyes. Certain things that you have said and done that I understand. It makes me feel alive again, vibrant again. I have not been so truthful, though. There have been certain things that have happened, and I have not really spoken the truth. Now there's this sense of deceit, deception, which has caused suspicion. And because of this, it's difficult for me to open up to you and be the way that I want it to be, because how can you possibly trust me? Certain truths I have spoken, yes. But then there are certain things that I have said, and yet I haven't spoken the full truth. Only half. Overall, right now I feel, because of this situation, very overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to behave. I don't know what actions to take. because I'm feeling overwhelmed, I do find it difficult to sort out my emotions and my feelings. I need time to sort them out because my mind right now is in a crisis mode. There's mental anguish, frustration, and impatience, not knowing how to fix the situation, not knowing what to do. And because of me just feeling so overwhelmed, I stand still. I don't make a move. I don't do anything. For now, I don't want to talk. I don't really want to do anything or say anything because I might say the wrong thing. And it's also because I feel intimidated by you now. You have moved on and I don't know how to get you again. It's like a flame that was once burning bright has extinguished. How do I reignite that flame? That is something I find difficult. All right. Leo. A lot is going on. There was a situation here. The story I'm getting is that somebody here was with someone, and there was a promise that was made or a promise that was thought to come true. But that didn't happen. It got to the point where the complete opposite happened, and then somebody here feels very much betrayed. But along with the betrayal, there was a lack of truth being spoken. And now the person of interest just feels absolutely overwhelmed over what happened. They're really upset what happened because of the betrayal. Also feeling not so worthy and fearful. And the lies. With a shape-shifting card, this is my third party card. Here you'll see Vila with her direction. She's walking towards the side where there's a horse. So she is walking in the direction, but her head is turned towards this wolf, and the wolf is headed somewhere completely different into the forest. So even though she's walking here, she's distracted, longing for the other person. So this could mean a third-party situation where we do have somebody who's basically having an affair. Or, if it's not that, third party can also mean that the time, energy, and effort that this person could be spending on you, they're spending it on something else. Not someone else, but something else. Perhaps they have to work double shifts, have a couple of jobs just to pay the bills. So they cannot dedicate that time. Their attention is towards you. However, their body is always on the go on the other side. So there's definitely something here happening. It could be many, many examples. Somebody taking care of their kids. Maybe they just got divorced, custody battle, blah, blah, blah. They need to take care of the kids over the weekends. And those weekends were supposed to be for the both of you to come together. And this person maybe doesn't want you to see the children or see the children yet. There's many, many scenarios. But it basically comes down to the fact that this person cannot give you that time because the time is being spent somewhere else. And for that reason, it's causing a rift between the both of you. It's causing this sense of betrayal that I thought we were on the right path together. However, where did this betrayal come from? Why are you acting differently? I thought we were doing this, this, and this, but now you're just completely acting differently. It's not even that somebody may have said something. Maybe somebody just ghosted. Maybe somebody just stopped talking altogether. Either way, it's this individual and they're not feeling good about what they've done. They don't like it. They're very overwhelmed. But they know, sorry guys, they know what type of a situation they were in. For some, it was a third party. For some, it was simply that they're just busy. And they were so busy that they could not give you themselves. You hardly have, you don't have the type of cards that I typically get where it shows a person's like personality or how they actually view you. It's very different. There's two here. One, they feel that you're very seductive. The other, they feel that you're very friendly. So they do have a friendship. You have a friendship card here. And friend is good. It could also mean that somebody in this connection thought it was very committed. However, another individual was thinking that it's not so committed or not so exclusive. So there was a difference in the way there's a difference in the way the both of you viewed this relationship. And when it was discovered that one person's idea is different than the other's, that kind of created this imbalance. Let me know if that resonated for anybody. These are very, very intense cards. So be very careful with any type of decisions or any actions that you're going to take anytime soon. Don't rush into anything. All right, I have here the Beginner's Tarot. Nope. This is the Lover's Path Tarot. Yikes. And you have two of the most difficult cards. So, these cards I read in the reverse for those of you who are new. What do I look at? I look at what truly happened in the beginning that caused the problem to go downhill in the first place. So, there's something that caused this problem. Things may have been very sweet. As time went by, things started to become very sour. And why did that happen? So here I look at the why. This is for those of you who have been ghosted, for those of you that may have wanted closure and that never happened. It could also be for those of you that were communicating with this person, but now it's just absolutely scarce, very irregular. Maybe before it was every week or maybe every couple of days during the week. And now it's, for example, once a month or once 2 or every 3 months. So you're wondering, where are we? What is this? Why is this person acting like this? Let's have a look. These two cards are very, very meaningful, I've seen. So let's start with the 3 of Arrows first. This talks about loss. It talks about sorrow and oversensitivity. A sharp pain in the heart, disappointment, and the end of a love relationship. Living in separation. Sorrow that can enlighten or debilitate an individual. Time is needed to heal. There was a need to transform this grief into a strength. There was this desire at some point, Leo. However, now this person's overindulging in grief for the sake of drama. Slow easing of sorrow. So, yes, it may just be drama, but the truth is they are very sad. They're grieving, there's loss, a sense of loss by not having you in their life, and they're being overly sensitive. They may not want to get out of this mindset right now because they're just not able to. They're still very much enveloped in this hurt, this pain. Once the pain starts to become a little less, then they can actually take their mind off of this and move forward. The 7 of Staves. The 7 of Staves here talks about defensiveness, being combative, and having struggle. There's a sense of instability, and success is possible, but only after dealing with difficult people or situations that oppose one's intentions. Be careful not to let their mess become yours. This person had started to feel very overwhelmed, and they had become their own worst enemy, creating problems to distract from what was really going on. So here it talks about them feeling very overwhelmed. Now, very close, we did have the crisis card, right? In the crisis, that is complete an individual being completely overwhelmed. So yes, again, back then they were feeling overwhelmed and they're still feeling overwhelmed. They had become their own worst enemy. They weren't really getting to the point, and they were distracting, and they were talking about things that were unnecessary, meaning the problem could have been something completely different, but they would talk about the irrelevant one and not the relevant one. So that's a little bit of a problem here. It talks about struggle, it talks about pain and sorrow. So overall, what I'm seeing here is that this individual was not ready emotionally at that time for a connection. They were not in the right state of mind. Some of you may wonder, why. Firstly, it was, yes, the separation between the both of you and the struggles that you were having. But also, there was some underlying issue even before all of this began. So even if they started to behave this way, it's not because 100% because of you. It was because of the other external circumstances and factors and influences that were really pushing their way into this connection. So it's external as well. But in addition to that, a little portion of it is all related to yourself and the problems that have occurred. But truly, there is an issue here that was coming from the outside, and that this individual can now control. Here, they can. This is their own heart with you. This is them outside with the rest of the world and how much of a struggle it was, and then they brought it into this connection. Somehow, they were unable to differentiate it and keep it separate. Take it as it resonates. If that resonates, do let me know. Alrighty. Let's have a look at the Beginner's Tarot. So with this deck, I have a look at any actions, any plans, any intentions your person of interest may have. Very nice. Ho, ho, ho. The numbers of percentages are getting higher and higher in terms of a third-party situation. We got the sneaky card here. So you did have before the third-party card, and now you have the card which is talking about hiding, forbidden kind of connection, forbidden love. This passion that exists, it's hard to hide it. Goodness me. Okay. A lot is going on. King of Pentacles, this individual is really coming to you as a king, which is amazing. It's very rare to see a king here. They're more mature, even though sometimes their actions may not have seemed to be. But they do want to provide you with an offer. So they are going to be offering you something. Whatever they offer you, their mindset is very much focused on tangible, something that's a solid offer. And here we also have the Eight of Wands. So they are definitely going to be reaching out to you, communicating with you. The communication could be literally something that is directly or indirectly, could be face-to-face, it could be a text, it could be any type of communication. But it is very, very big, and it's very direct. This is coming from a king now, so it's going to be quite direct. I don't want to use the word forceful, but something that's slightly less than forceful. Persistent, I'm getting persistent. So this person is persistent. Some of you may not even want to be in a connection with this person, but it's almost as if they keep coming back to you, or you keep going back to them, or both of you just kind of get pulled into each other's energy again, because this is a very addictive kind of relationship that the both of you have. We have here the Seven of Swords, and definitely this individual has realized that they really want you. And by hook or by crook, they're going to hide. In the olden days, you'd say beg, borrow, and steal or something like that. But whatever it takes, they want to be with you. The problem is they could get in trouble. And perhaps you could get in trouble, depending on what the situation is. Does this person want you? Yes, they do. Do they care how they're going to get you? No, they don't. They want any way that they possibly can. They're going to be sneaky about it. So keep that in mind. We also have here the 9 of Swords. So with the 9 of Swords, this individual has realized that they have regret because they've had doubts in the past. These regrets, this doubt, has caused them to realize that they are the ones responsible for some of the problems within this connection. And they hold their head down, their head is down, and their hands on their face. And they're feeling bad about this. How could I have done this to my Leo? Why did I do this to my Leo? It's a very sweet and passionate connection. And there are certain types of rules or factors that are coming into play. But this person does feel bad. They have these 9 of Swords just like looming over them. Any moment, anything can fall and hurt them. They do feel that much of this is their fault, and they feel regretful. They feel fearful. Sometimes they have sleepless nights, insomnia. They might not be able to sleep at night, and they have psychic disturbances, so they wake up sometimes. We also have here the Hermit. What's really good is that the Hermit is a beautiful card to have because it really talks about that self-reflection, introspection, putting oneself into loneliness, healing, learning about who I am and what I want to do in the future. So this is a really good card to have because it just teaches an individual how to become wiser. We also have here Death, the overall arching theme. Your person of interest wants to have a second chance and wants to restart this connection. What's interesting here is that they've gone through a lot, they've experienced a lot, and they basically want to put the past in the past and let's start fresh. So for those of you who are interested in this individual, that's what's going to happen. However, warning. Be careful with this person because it's still sneaky. This could be somebody in the workplace that you're not supposed to be with. They find out, your boss finds out, you get fired. Okay? It's just stuff like that. Weird stuff like that happens. So just be careful because it is a sneaky kind of situation. Depending on your personal problem, your preference, whatever. I would just suggest to take things slow and don't rush into anything because this person really does want to rush. However, think about it before you even start to say anything or give an answer back because this person's going to reach out to you. You're going to give an answer. They're going to be sneaky about it. They're still feeling bad. Then they're going to contemplate. So even after they reach out to you, there's going to be a quiet period. So if they reach out to you, don't think that, oh, they reached out and now they're completely ignoring me. It's just that after they reach out to you, reality hits them. And then they are seeing the bigger picture, which is why they have to have this hermit mode come through. And after that, I see this happening. This person is going to reach out and they're going to make an offer. It's up to you. Do you want to take this offer? Some of you don't even know who this person is. You're hearing this. If you don't know who it is, then this will mean that this is a person from your past who you probably want to forget about at this point. But this channel, it is about feelings. So I read people's feelings. So whatever type of feelings are coming through, I don't have control over that. That is the mass. The amount of people that are having the same sort of emotions and feelings and whatever you guys are going through, that's what comes through. Okay, just going to do a quick prayer. Okay. We have here messages from Archangels Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, as well as Uriel. Okay, look for a sign, those red flags. This is the overall arching theme, so you're going to have to be careful with this individual. A lot is going on here. They are saying to trust in the divine, trust in divine timing, trust in the plan. There's no such thing as coincidences. And reconsider what it is that you are going to say and do in regards to the situation. Do listen to your intuition, because your intuition is your soul, much more older and wiser than you are. It's been there, done that. So do listen to your gut feeling. The first feeling that you get typically is the correct one. They are saying here there's no need to worry. So some of you have been worried and you are worried. Some of you may even have anxiety, which was also from the fear card that you had earlier. We also have here, no need to worry, peaceful resolution. So there may have been a problem between the both of you, but it does say here that there is going to be a peaceful resolution coming through. They're also saying to become a bit more spiritual, or even, you don't have to become more spiritual, but just do some of those actions, just manifest it within your own life in that way. So take the time out to meditate, take the time out to pray. And this is to the divine, the one source, who we call God. And meditation, if you don't have time, the minimum you can do, which is what my angel guide said is okay, Angel Fakil, she says 21 minutes is sufficient. Anything more is perfectly fine. Anything less, not so great. So 21. Also for prayer, try to mean it. 2-3 minutes is good enough. And of course, you could do much longer than that as well. Within the next few months, things are going to start to change for you. There is going to be this peaceful resolution that's going to come. There's going to be a decision that you're going to make, and you're going to actually take action according to that. But the overall arching theme says here, look for a sign. This literally could be, look for a red flag. This could be current, or the red flags and the warnings could be from the past. Sometimes when we get into a situation like we are now, we just think about the now. We don't look at what happened before. Our friends and family may have told us a long time ago, this is not the right person. Or we may have suspected something and we just ignored it. But now that you're in this phase, in this stage, try to take a step back and have a look at all the things that happened before in this connection. If there were any red flags that you missed, that you just didn't see because it was just all love, right? We don't notice these things. So even when it comes to look for a sign, this could be currently, yes, but it could also be from the past. So try to see what you can see and have that clarity to move forward, to make the right decision, to use your intuition and to reconsider what it is that you're going to do within this connection. Are you just going to have a peaceful resolution and then move on? Or do you want to have a peaceful resolution and be with this person? From my opinion, just me, from what I'm seeing, I would just say be very cautious. Okay, be aware of what this person, who they are, what they do, how they want to treat you. Because in all honesty, I did not see the love card, right? And I didn't see a lot of cups there either. There's not a lot going on here in terms of emotions. So what is the true meaning behind why this person wants you? And none of those cards showed up in any of the spreads that I had. But there was heartache. So heartache does mean that the heart was hurt, which means the heart liked somebody at some point or cherished somebody at some point. So there was a sense of disappointment. However, I would have preferred that throughout the reading, at least we had something more in terms of the emotions. So we don't have that. And because we don't have that, we have a lack of it. I would just recommend to be very careful when you're dealing with this person. It's literally like the week after, 2 weeks from now, maybe it's going to be totally different, right? People change every single second. Our emotions change, okay? So 1 minute, you can do that. I mean, I used to do, sometimes back in the day, I would do readings, and I'd have some people that would ask me, this is obviously just my people, my friends, my family. And they're like asking about a person, and they'll ask 2 or 3 times within that same hour, which is kind of crazy. You don't do that. And they did it, and the emotions would change, but there would be this underlying emotions that wouldn't change. So, this is how people work. Our emotions do change, but we may get irritated, yet we still love somebody. We may have a difference of opinions, but we still love somebody. So there's certain things that kind of stay consistent and always there. They're just constant. It's a matter of you knowing and judging what it is that you want. What kind of signs have you seen and have you noticed? And even listening to your intuition, because your intuition knows better. Leo, that is your reading. I hope I was able to provide you with some clarity and some guidance in your situations. Do let me know in the comments below. I do have some packages that are still open on my website if you want to go and see that. That's on www.asnointia.com. Right now, currently, I'm not doing any love readings, just to let you know. The ones that I do have that are open are to help you get rid of negative energies so that you can manifest and so that you can have more positive energy around you. Also, my other channel, I just wanted to let those of you who are new know, I do have another channel called Asnointia Audio, and I have videos on there that are regarding spiritual relationships and relationships in general, love relationships, romantic situations and scenarios, and how you can understand certain things when it comes to relationships. As well as one most recently I have on negative energies, what and who are negative energies. All of those videos are absolutely free. Please don't think that they are being charged in any way, shape, or form. They're not. It's all free for you, just knowledge. And all of this information comes from you guys, because I get a lot of information from a lot of people, and it seems to be very common themes that people go through all around the world. It doesn't matter where you're from. Relationships have similar problems. And so it got to the point where I was like, okay, you know what? There's lots of patterns here. Let's make a video. So those videos, they're all based on you guys. And hopefully you'll find them very helpful. So do have a look on that channel as well. Do like, share, and subscribe. And do leave a comment there as well. All right. You all take care. Stay safe. Bye now.